Tower People's Choice Top 100 Games of All Time. Dice Tower People's Choice Top 100 Games of All Time.
Alright, welcome back to another Top 100 People's Gaming Choice. You know, last time I read some comments that some people said, hey, you know, this is a very Eurocentric list, which made me laugh because I've seen the whole list and I thought there was not enough Euro games on it, maybe. But I think there's a good mix, and I think today we will put to rest the fact that this is about Euro games. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of these aren't that. But some great games. I agree with pretty much all of your choices as, well, okay, no. But still, there's a lot of good ones. Let's look at them.
Number 40, Tigers and Referees.
Number 40 is Tigers and Euphrates, and you say, wait, you said there would be no Euro games. Well, yeah, that's true. But no, I said there would be some. But this is not really a Euro game anyway. Yes, it's done by the great Reiner Knizia, who is known for making themeless, very abstract games, but this is abstract, but it's not, and it's themeless, but it's, wow, it's vicious. It's evil. People getting in each other's faces, trying to conquer. It's not on my top 100 list anymore just because I get too exhausted playing it. I get too frustrated by just putting all my effort into one battle, and it kind of comes, everything comes crashing around me. But I cannot deny that it's a good game. It's a very fun game. A lot of people play online. I think it's best with 2 players, although it can go up to 4. Tigris and Euphrates.
Number 39, Defenders of the Round.
Hooray, we agree with each other. Defenders of the Realm. The game in which monsters are approaching the city and you must fight them off with your team of stalwart adventurers, whether that be barbarian or magician or sorcerer or knight or thief, or your typical fantasy stereotypes, but they work very well, and people like the idea of working together as a team. There's already multiple expansions out for this game, and I think it has a great deal of replayability and has some pretty nice bits on the board too. Yes, I'm very afraid. Anyway, so I highly endorse your choice, Defenders of the Realm.
Number 38, Shadows of the Carrion.
This is one of 2 games that both of us have on our top 10 list, the same one this week, and that is Shadows over Camelot. I wondered if this might drop because I don't hear that much about it. But obviously people like the idea of this cooperative game in which one person quite possibly could be a traitor, a knight in Round Table King Arthur. It's a fantasy style theme, but a more specific one, King Arthur and his knights, that's not done that often. It has a cooperative flair to it, but it's simple enough that almost anybody can play it, and people like the idea of that traitor. And the traitor isn't so evil at the end that maybe he doesn't irritate people, so people take this with much better humor than they might take something like Battlestar Galactica. Either way, and also goes up to 8 players, which is pretty cool with the expansion, but still, a lot of fun. Shadows over Camelot.
Number 37, Alien and Frontiers.
Alien Frontiers was in the running for our Game of the Year last year, won our Best Small Publisher game, and for good reason. It really took the world by storm, considering that its distribution has been much smaller than what it could be, and considering that they've gone out of print multiple times. This game of rolling dice and using those dice as spaceships and placing them in areas on the board to get different things has really taken the gaming world by storm, and people really like it. It has a bit of a Settlers of Catan flair, a bit of Kingsburg in it, and a great space theme that's a little campy and yet doesn't get too lighthearted at the same time. All this in a very well-produced package. I see a lot of people like this, and I was not at all surprised to see it on your list.
Number 36, Galaxy Trucker.
And another game that's on both of our lists this week, same top 10, and that is Galaxy Trucker. Galaxy Trucker is never going to be known as a great game design, I think. I could be wrong, but I think it's just because of the fact that it's so much fun. You know, as everyone builds their spaceship and then they fly their spaceship along this route, picking up goods and dropping them off. But asteroids are hitting your ship the whole time, chopping off huge sections of it occasionally. Pirates are going to come and shoot at your ship, and there's so much laughing and uproarious, you know, humor and the things that happen to players as their ships just get massacred. Lots of fun, and building your own ship gives people this idea of creating their own thing. It's just neat. So check it out, Galaxy Trucker.
Number 35, Ghost Stories.
Ghost Stories, a game in which players are in a village fighting off wave after 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 wave of ghosts. And there's quite a few more waves than that. It has all the feel of a B Japanese movie where this ancient, weird, nasty, mean ghosts are coming in and you are using anything at your means to fight them off. Usually, somehow you're using karate and things like that. But it is fun. It is hard as all get out. But with a fantastic artwork and just the idea that when you accomplish it, especially with the new expansion, it brings a lot of fun to it. Haven't played the newest one yet, but that one might also be putting it on your list. Either way, I'm glad to see a lot of people like Ghost Stories.
I knew it. Number 34, Lord of the Ring, the card game.
Evidence that new games are in our listeners' hearts. Well, that's pretty obvious on this and the next game, and this one is Lord of the Rings, the card game. This is a new game that just came out at the beginning of 2011, and it's a cooperative living card game, which means you can build your own deck, and at the same time you're working together. And there's the game itself comes with several scenarios, and you buy scenarios. What's neat about this game is when you buy new stuff for it, it's just a small deck of cards, and it adds more scenarios and more cards. But you can play most of the characters, and I'm assuming by the time it's done, every character ever from Tolkien's whole wide world that he created. And you're just going and fighting different things, maybe to get the one ring, but there's all different missions that you can do. And people have really taken to this and really enjoyed this cooperative game as they sit there and you try to find two teams, a two-player game in which, you know, two people try to pick two groups of folks. Maybe I have a group of fighters and you have a group of healers, and can we coordinate them together to beat the bad guy? I've seen this game very popular all over the place, so wasn't surprised to see it on this list.
Number 33, Civilization.
On the other hand, this is a game that I am surprised to see on this list. Sid Meier's Civilization, and of course we're talking about the new one from Fantasy Flight Games, not the original one from Eagle. I think it's a neat game. There's multiple paths of victory. They seem to do a really good job at balancing those 4 different paths out. The component quality is neat. It feels more like the computer game of Civilization, or at least the newest one. It feels like Civ 5 or Civilization Revolution. And I can see all those factors working for it, and maybe that's why people picked it based on that. I think it's a good game. Don't get me wrong. But I do wonder if it will stay on the list. I wonder if it has lasting power. Are we going to see people playing it? I haven't seen it be playing that much, to be honest, but I could be wrong. There could be a lot of huge fans of this game. I like it, but I'm curious to see if this one will slowly drop off the charts. We'll have to wait and see. Either way, it made it on this year, Sid Meier's Civilization.
Number 32, Chaos in the Old World.
Well, this is a bit ironic, what you're wearing there. Chaos in the Old World. It definitely doesn't look like this. It is a dark and dreary game built on the Warhammer universe, in which everybody is one of the evil demons and trying to harvest as many souls as possible while taking out all the other evil demons. It's a very dark game, but what's interesting about this game and why so many people like it is the fact that it's asymmetrical, and each army has their own abilities. The armies are different, the special cards are different, the special abilities are different, everything is different, and yet they seem remarkably well balanced. It's kind of an area control game, but there's combat in it, lots of different things, technology that you can get, some pretty neat aspects of the game. And while Certainly not a theme to my taste. Obviously, I'm in a minority about how good the game is.
Number 31, Caylus.
Here's another one I was surprised to see on the list. Not because I don't think Caylus is a good game. It is. It's, in fact, of all the games that we've talked about this week, the top 10 games, this is the most Euro-y of all the Euro ones. As you're building a castle and using different buildings to get different pieces, to build the castle, to get points, to please the king. And when Caylus came out, wow, was it the hotness. Everyone loved it. Everyone raved about it. It shot up, I think, briefly toyed with being #1 on Board Game Geek of all the games, and then kind of fizzled out. You don't hear much about it these days, especially since a card game version, Magna Carta, and Pillars of the Earth came out afterwards, and both of them did the same concept, but in simpler format. But this game still has a very deep, strong economic engine. It has some really good parts to it, and I can see why people like it as much as they do. Wasn't expecting to see it at number 31, Caylus. Well, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed looking at your top 100 games. That's 10 more. We only have 30 games left. They only get better from here on out, you might think. Shut the door. But anyway, check out my top 10 list. Check out Melody's top 100 list. Check out everyone's lists. There's lots of good games out there. And we got 30 more coming next week, so I'll see you then. Until then, I'm Tom Vasel.
And I'm Amy Vasel.
And you've been watching The Dice Tower.
There.